Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You want to put down Candace Owens, you got to go through me, okay? Because I get lots of my information from her show because I find her incredibly informative, charismatic, and funny, okay? So I don't care what your issues are with her. You can't kill her unless you kill me first, so. And I know there's a lot of crazies out there, but I welcome that type of attention. I'm just kidding, you guys. I don't actually want to get killed, okay? But just like maybe don't kill Candace, you know? Maybe think of better ways to, you know, like debunk the things she says. That would be better than sending out the crazies, you know? Anyway, but yeah, so that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to take a break from my Diddy coverage, which is going to be extensive today. I got a live stream coming right after this that I think is going to rattle a lot of people's cages because that case is over as of today. Some text messages came out in the trial that at least for one of the primary charges, the one of trafficking related to Cassie, that has been decided, bottom line. And so I would highly suggest, if you guys are interested in that case, to check out the live stream that I'm going to do shortly after this. By the time you see this, highly likely the live stream will be over. So go to my page, go to live streams. You'll see it because I want to be able to engage with my audience when I talk about it because it's a big deal and it requires a lot of nuance that I'm not certain everyone will understand. So I'm going to engage everyone while I talk about it. But in this video, we got to talk about Candace Owens. And I'm going to switch gears because I don't know. I feel like being funny. So Candace Owens reveals she was the target of Morris Plains man's online death threats. So I'm going to start like this, guys. If someone on the internet is making you so enraged that you think it's time to come up with a death sentence for them, I'm going to be the one that does it. I'm coming for them, okay? I'm going to end their life. It's that important. Okay, I promise you're the bad guy, okay? Like, you're the bad guy. There's no one on the internet that you are important enough to kill and be the good guy, okay? Just some guidelines as we go into this, okay? Conservative commentator Candace Owens reveals this week that she was the unnamed target of a New Jersey man who threatened to kill her in a violent video and group message prompting a federal investigation and criminal charges. Dude, let me tell you guys something right now. You want to kill Candace, you got to go through me, okay? Candace is hilarious. Candace is really, really smart, and she puts out amazing content. Why do you want to kill Candace? Oh, because you disagree with her opinions? Like, come on, dude. Just make a better argument. Just like everyone else. There's so many smart people who say dumb things that I disagree with, but the answer is always the same. Come up with a better argument then. Unless someone asks you right now, what are you about to do? Because the answer is not come up with a better argument. It is subscribe to Jesse on Fire's channel, ring the bell for all notifications, and then like this video. So there are exceptions to every single rule, man. Okay? Murder is not the right answer ever. Okay? So let's start with what Candace said about this. Let's just do it like this. Okay? So the motive of the crime was made clear to me by the FBI today. Haim wanted to murder me because of my Piers Morgan debate against Shmuley, because I offended the dead Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, who many Jews viewed as a messiah. Haim was unequivocal that he was willing to serve time in prison for killing me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm thinking of people who I think have a really strong grasp on life, who I would like to emulate and who I have a lot of respect for, I think about people, from the Middle East who strap things to their chest, press buttons, and blow themselves up in order to exact maximum damage. I don't want to say the word that you normally use for that because I got a video age restricted day before yesterday because of talking about self-harm. So I don't know how to say, Kuakide Lammer, right? Those guys. It's like that person clearly has their ducks in a line, And so when you hear someone was willing to do that to take out Candace Owens because of something she said on Piers Morgan, okay, give me a break. I don't care what she said, man. Like I was willing to be a dick to another YouTuber for things that they said on Piers Morgan that really pissed me off, someone went on Piers Morgan and said things I found absolutely reprehensible and insulting to my sensibilities. So I was a dick to them on YouTube, Like, that seems like a reasonable response. Someone says something that you think is nasty. You say something nasty about them, right? Killing them seems like a little bit much, you know? And like, who knows? Maybe I'll end up, finding common ground with that person at some point. Like, tit for tat. You said nasty things. I said nasty things. Once you go and, put them in the ground and you get a life sentence, no real coming back from that. You know what I mean? This photo, by the way, was provided by the DOJ. Where is his mugshot photo and who else was in the group chat? According to the DOJ's email to me, Haim Braverman is being charged with interstate communications for ransom. Okay, I have changed my mind. We're actually going to go over to this article, okay? So let's read what happened, then we're going to go back to that. Owens, who was born in White Plains, New York, and raised in Stamford, Connecticut, said she's raised in Stamford, Connecticut? Where do I know that from? No, like, really, where do I know that from? I feel like that's from, like, a show that I watched. Not The Office. I feel like The Office was it The Office? Because I feel like Hillary Clinton is from wherever The Office was. This is all really important context, guys. Said she was contacted by the FBI last September following her viral debate with Shmuley, in which she criticized, okay, yep, we got that. All right. So she says, we were obviously confused. How could the DOJ move to arrest and charge someone but keep the target of the crime in the dark? That is an excellent question. So they were doing that without even talking to her about it. May 13th, Owens said she finally learned the name of the man who threatened her. Haim Braverman, 47 of Morris Plains. Federal court records show Braverman pleaded guilty to transmitting threats in interstate commerce earlier this spring. In a September 2024 video, Braverman, holding a bat, threatened Owens by name. Ooh, scary. Scary. I'm going to get her, you guys. And I am such a master criminal that I'm going to go ahead and announce it to the world with my face and name on camera. No one will ever find out who it was or when I'm coming. You're like, you seem like a really serious person with a really serious intent to complete this crime. Like Gabrielle and I, if you guys don't watch my other channel, Play with Matches, the link is in the description. Gabrielle and I, it's a better channel than this one. It's fantastic. But if you've never watched my wife and I's channel, we just finished recording a video about a dude who was having an affair with his best friend's wife, and he called into a massive podcast to talk to the host about what he should do. And the guy's like, hey, does your buddy know? He's all, no, he doesn't. He's all, does your wife know? He's like, no, actually, she doesn't know. And you're all, and so like I hit pause, I'm all, and you called into a podcast without disguising your voice. This podcast has 1.6 million subs on YouTube alone, and it's a bigger podcast. What are you doing, dude? Is this your way of confessing? It's clearly not. Seems about as smart as this guy if he really intended on whacking out Candace. And again, if you want to get to Candace, you got to go through me, bro. Okay? I won't have it. I like her show too much. On Tuesday, May 13th, Owens said she finally learned the name of the man, yada, yada. We already said this, okay. He said, if I could fucking kill you right now, I would. I'd kill you dead. I'm threatening a death sentence against her. He also wrote, she needs to be killed in a group chat. Braverman reportedly added, I will go to prison gladly, find her and kill her. I will find an effing weapon and effing kill her. Wow. Listen, guys, I know when I'm assessing, threats to my safety, I go, does the guy acknowledge openly that they don't have access to a weapon? I swear I will find a weapon and I will do it. You're all, you don't have a weapon? No weapons, huh? Wow. Okay. Scary. Let's see. I didn't even know we were going there in the video, but like, look, I found this on I found that literally on the table in front of me. Okay. With like no plan. Oh, well, also on the table. This is actually weird, dude. What else do I have? My firearms are downstairs, but like, oh, you just gonna have to find a weapon, huh? Scary. These leftists, man, are the least scary people ever. Okay. So Owens faced backlash. Okay, why is this just repeating itself over and over and over and over and over? Okay, so now let's go back to hers. So she said, Internet sleuths, I need your help. In September of last year, following my viral debate with Rabbi Shmuley, my family endured a series of attacks led by deranged Zionists. Among many other things, on the 21st of that month, we were contacted by the FBI and informed that their department had apprehended a suspect in relation to a crime involving a threat against me, but they were unable to provide any further details because the investigation was ongoing. We were obviously confused. How could the DOJ move an arrest without keep the target of the crime in the dark regarding any details? That is super messed up, dude. This person said, she said, very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what this is. As of September 23rd, 2020, the Jewish group chat had approximately 40 members. Braverman, yada, yada. So this is, oh my God. Wait, hold on. On about November 10th, 2023, Braverman also wrote the following in messaging application. In the messaging referencing violent acts such as using a steel bat to crush an individual's skull. So I had this idea I will not execute, but after seeing these huge NYC protests, I wanted to dress up with a rag on my head and a flag. I wanted to get a small, quick-release bottle of butane and a mini torch and rapidly torch every single Palestinian flag on the street. Then fill something with butane in the middle of the road and burn a huge photo of Muhammad. Set their whole block on fire. I won't do it. But I did think about if I saw someone take a hostage photo down on the street, I'd slam their forehead into the steel. Okay, this person's just talking nonsense. Two at once. I thought it was a girl. I'd take packing tape and wrap her hair around the pole with it. My favorite would be to bring my Brooklyn Crusher steel bat and behind the person crush their skull, or follow them into the intersection, tackle them, and slam their forehead into the pavement. I won't do it, but no one's doing anything. I mean, what? On or about November 11, 2023, on social media platform operating Weez, determined to be Braverman, posted a video of himself referencing a steelback stating, how would you like a fucking steelback shoved in your effing skull? Because that's what I'm going to effing come to do. These little effing kids, the bottom line is that times come, B. If I effing encounter any of those Fs that want to deny whatever, there's going to be a... Let's see. There's going to be oh man, there's just the same one. I wanted more. Dude, I mean, like, what is up with these people, dude? Okay, and then now she's got this too. So last year, the ADL and every major publication smeared me as a Holocaust denier for calling it bizarre that a doctor would cut twins in half only to sew them back together. This year, Auschwitz drops a podcast substantiating that the twin experiment was a myth. Wait, substantiating that the twin experiment was a myth. Oh, so she said that doesn't make any sense. And now Auschwitz came out and is like, yeah, it's not true. Okay, so Auschwitz.org said, I want to note that many myths arose around Dr. Mengele, you know, the Nazi doctor, everybody's, you know who that guy is, right? In the camp, such as the alleged sewing together of twins, which did not happen. Simply because Mengele saw himself as a scientist, a theoretician, a man conducting research sewing twins together, as Vera Alexander mentioned, wouldn't make sense from a medical point of view because Mengele had sufficient medical knowledge and the medical understanding of the time allowed him to know that it would lead nowhere. So where did this legend come from? It likely originated from the fact that Mengele performed transfusions on twins without prior cross-matching tests. This meant that if the donor's blood didn't match the recipient's, it led to death. To perform a transfusion, people had to be connected, not sewn together, but connected with needles and tubes so that the blood could flow. Therefore, the legend about Mengele as someone who sewed children together probably came from this. Okay, so she's like, yeah, I said this. You guys called me anti-Semitic, and it turns out that I was 100% right. So, and then she said, I'm literally shaking that the Auschwitz Museum is engaging in Holocaust denial. I trust the ADL and will add them to their list. Okay, that's pretty funny. So, listen, dude, Candace Owens is a master troll. And also, apparently is the #1 target of, let's see if she has any pictures of her baby yet. I wonder if she does, like, post pictures of her baby. Probably not. But dude, I think it's so cool when people do this with their Instagram. Look at, like, when they take the whole thing and then they do that. Like, that's dope, bro. Also, you know the make him a sandwich thing? I wonder if I influenced that, because that was my joke for years. That was my joke for years. Is I was talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. Anytime I talked about Will Smith and Jada, I was like, bro, Will just needs to grab her by the face and be like, listen, sweetheart. You know, not like hard, but just be like, Jada, stop talking for a second. I need you to go in the kitchen and make me a fucking sandwich, okay? Shut up, Jada Pinkett. Go make me a sandwich. Like, someone needs to punk her a little bit and remind her, like, you know, hey, oh, you're not feeling good? That doesn't mean you can have sex with our son's friend, okay? And that certainly doesn't mean that you can go out in public and humiliate me on purpose and embarrass it, like, and just demasculate me at every single possible corner or way that you could do that, okay? That's not a thing that you're supposed to do as a wife. You're a bad wife. Jada, you're a bad wife. I'm not going to take it back either. How's that taste? A little dirty in your mouth, huh? You bad wife. You know? But it's hard to be funny when we're talking about people trying to murder some, you know, like Candace. Oh, yeah, look at, dude. Ian Carroll is officially like doing a show for Candace while she's on maternity leave. But listen, just want to make this public and clear. If, in fact, Candace Owens is starting her own network, you know, just saying, probably the hottest free agent in the entire internet that just talks into a camera. You know? Not many people are better at this than me. And when I say not many, I mean none. Okay? No one is better at this than me. And what do you mean by this? I mean improv, comedy / news at the same time. Okay? Someone was asking me about that. They're like, what do you consider what you do? I'm like, you know, honestly, now it's kind of like, it's kind of improv comedy based on the news. So I'm like delivering real stories while simultaneously thinking of jokes on the spot. Another thing that I've noticed is anytime that I think of a funny joke and then I like try to do it, you know, like I almost like I script it out as opposed to just like I do it on the spot. Every time the first take that I did is funniest. So I don't know what that means, man. It is what it is. It also helps that I think I'm really funny. So like when I watch my own stuff back, I'm like, God damn, that was really good. That one was good. Now this video is not good at all. Just to be clear, this is, at least in my own mind, I just want to be clear about this. This is probably one of the worst videos that I've recorded in a very long time. And the reason for that is because I am doing it right now because I don't want to run into time constraints when I do this Diddy stream. And so I'm trying to just get this video out of the way. And I'm thinking about the Diddy case that just got blown wide open. And I'm trying to, it's hard to double track, you know? So if this video is even a little bit good, that is going to be very surprising to me because I think it's probably terrible. But, you know, what are you going to do? You know, sometimes you got to phone it in a little bit. This is what phoning it in looks like from me, you guys. Okay. So that's what's what.